Welcome back to Postcards Between Pages, the podcast where stories travel through time, place, and heart. I'm your host, Kristen, and today we're sliding into a vinyl booth at Joe's Pie Diner, where the scent of cinnamon and courage lingers in the air. This episode is a love letter to Waitress, the indie film, the Broadway musical, and the bittersweet slice of Americana that comes to nourish audiences with every note and every pie. Let's start at the beginning. Waitress began as a 2007 indie film written and directed by Adrienne Shelley. It's the story of Jenna Hunterson, a small-town waitress and gifted baker trapped in an abusive marriage. When Jenna discovers she's pregnant, she begins the dream of a different life, one where she's free to pursue her passion for baking and reclaim her sense of self. The film was a quiet triumph, but its afterlife was even more powerful. In 2015, producers Barry and Fran Weisler along with director Diane Paulus, brought the story to the American Repertory Theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts. They wanted something more delicate than traditional Broadway fare, and they found it in singer-songwriter Sara Bareilles. Bareilles, known for hits like Love Song and Brave, had never written for musical theater, but she was a self-proclaimed theater geek, and Waitress became her proving ground. The result, a score that's both intimate and soaring, filled with heartache, humor, and hope. Let's talk about the music. From the opening notes of Opening Up to the soul-bearing ballad She Used to Be Mine, Bareilles' score is a masterclass in emotional storytelling. These songs just don't accompany the plot, they are the plot. They give voice to Jenna's inner world, her fears, her longings, and her quiet strength. In interviews, Bareilles has said that Waitress changed the way she writes music. It taught her to write from character, to let the story lead, and it shows. What baking can do is more than a song, it's a manifesto. Baking becomes a metaphor for transformation, for taking broken ingredients and turning them into something beautiful. One of the most charming and subversive elements of Waitress is the way it uses pie as a form of self-expression. Jenna names her creations things like I Don't Want Earl's Baby Pie and Kick in the Pants Pie. Each one a coded message, a diary entry, a cry for help, or a burst of joy. In the Broadway production, real pies were baked in the lobby before each show, filling the theater with the scent of sugar and spice. Prop pies were crafted by a professional baker, and the attention to detail is part of what made the show feel so immersive. It wasn't just a musical, it was an experience. Jenna's story is one of survival, but she doesn't do it alone. Her co-workers, sassy and loyal Becky and quirky, love-struck Dawn, form a sisterhood that's as nourishing as any pie. Their friendship is the yeast that helps Jenna rise. The show also explores unconventional love, motherhood, and the idea that family isn't always the one you're born into, it's the one you choose. These themes resonate deeply, especially in spring, a season of rebirth and renewal. Waitress made history as the first Broadway musical with an all-female creative team. It ran on Broadway from 2016 to 2020, with a return engagement in 2021. It's been staged in London's West End, toured the US and UK, and was recently filmed for streaming, bringing the magic to even more kitchens and couches. Sara Bareilles herself stepped into Jenna's apron multiple times, joined by stars like Jason Mraz, Catherine McPhee, and even Al Roker. But, as I noted in my article, the show's magic doesn't depend on celebrity. It's baked into the story, the music, the scent of something warm and healing rising in the oven. So here's my postcard from the diner. Dear listener, if you find yourself stuck, stirring the same old batter, afraid to open the oven door, remember Jenna. Remember that even the messiest kitchens can produce something beautiful, that healing isn't linear, that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is crack an egg, roll the dough, and start again, with sugar, butter, and love. Thank you for joining me at Postcards Between Pages. If this episode stirred something in you, share it with a friend, bake it into a pie, or revisit the soundtrack. And remember that your story matters, your voice matters, and sometimes the best way to begin again is with a little sugar, a little butter, and a whole lot of heart.